Hey guys, what's going on? We're going to be talking about your common residential wire sizes. As you see right here, what they are on the board. We're going to be talking about what each one of these wires are, the size they are, and where you will likely find them in your home. The reason why this is important is because let's say you get a rewire job or a new construction project. I remember my first new construction project, actually. It was like a one-off in a neighborhood that was building homes. And so the GC, he was contracting out a few at a time. This was our first experience with them. And so these are what they call spec homes, which means we're just going to wire them to code. So when I got there, we literally didn't have any type of blueprints. We just knew exactly all the code that will apply to a new construction single family home. And we was able to wire the home without blueprints because we knew all of the wire sizes and we knew where they are commonly found inside a home. So this video, we're going to go over all of these wire sizes. We're going to go over where you will find them in a home and what they're going to be good use for. So, and if there's any questions, leave below in the chat. All right, so we're going to talk about this first wire. This can be identified by the white sheathing, and it has two current carrying conductors, right? So this is known as your 14-2 wire right here. That's your 14-2 wire. This is the smallest wire you're going to find inside a home, unless you got like low voltage speaker wires or your doorbell wires. But this is your 14-2, and we'll talk about all the common places where that's used. The next one down, this is the outer white sheathing as well. But if you notice, you have three current carrying conductors. I say that because the ground wire is not current carrying, so they don't count that when naming the wire. So you got 1, 2, 3, and this is size 14, which is the American wire gauge size. And that's known as 14-3. We'll talk about the uses for that. Now, if you notice, the sheathing color actually changes from the white sheathing to the yellow. And this have two current carrying conductors, but this wire is actually thicker in circumference than this wire. So even though this is 14, this is a little bit thicker. It's one step up. This is known as 12-2. Your next wire, which is your orange wire, as you notice, how many current carrying conductors? Once again, we got 3, but this is a little thicker than this one. This is known as your 10-3. All right. Now we have your number, 10? Now we got your number 8. This is your 8-3 because we got 1, 2, 3 current carrying conductors. There we go. And then we got your number 6. All right, perfect. So now these are all the common wire sizes that's found in a home. So once again, if you're going to rewire a home, or even if you're doing like a add-on or something like that, and you're trying to figure out, well, what size wire do I need to wire the additional bathroom, or we're adding one to the kitchen, or we're doing something in the garage, or anything like that. We're going to talk about these are your common wire sizes that you must know when it comes to wiring a home. So next, let's talk about amps. Your 14-2 always carries a maximum of 15 amps. Right? And so your 14 is 15 amps. Your 12 wire is going to be 20 amps. Your 10 wire is going to be 30 amps. And in a later video, we'll discuss what does amps mean, and how does that coincide with the code, and why you need to know that as a premium electrician when it comes to wiring things. But just maybe I'll put the definition of amps right here. Amps. This is what amps mean. Perfect. Okay, now we got amps out the way. So 15, 20, 30. Your 8 is going to be your 40 amps. And then your 6.3 is going to be your 50 amps. All right. Now there's a code. There's a table for this, matter of fact. once again, let's go down our wire size. 14.2, 15 amps. 12 is 20 amps. 10 is 30 amps. 8 is 40 amps. 6.3 is 50 amps. So now that we got that, now we're going to figure out where do we commonly find them? Where do we commonly find them in the home? I'm going to switch up colors. Hopefully the colors come through. See what this green do. It's not bad. All right, so let's start with our 14.2. This is commonly found for your outlets. And let's say, first let's say outlets. And this can include your bedrooms. This will include your hallways, your living room, your dining room. What else could it include? And this is just for outlets right now. It's for your outlets right now. I'm gonna leave that blank because something else may come to mind. You may also use it for your lighting circuits for the same rooms, for your bedrooms, for your hallways, for your living room, for your dining room. I'll put D in for your dining room. There you go. For your laundry room, you can put your 15.2. The reason why, I mean 15.2, your 14.2, and the reason why is because you got 15 amps. Most lights these days are your LED lights, so you're not even going to be pulling a lot of amps. So you can wire all this right here with your 14.2. Your 14.3, this wire, what you will commonly see this wire used for, if you're going to be putting it in a lighting circuit, a light circuit, then that is going to be your three-way switches, right? Because this can act as your travelers. So let's say you have a family room with 2 doors in it, one on each side of the hallway, and you want to run a switch on this side of the family room by that door, and then on this side by the other door. And if you go out of each door, you're going to turn your light switch off. That's known as a 3-way. 2 light switches for 1 light source. That's when you can run that 14.3 as your travelers. But also what I like to do for my 14.3 is when I'm doing ceiling fans, right? So when I'm putting a ceiling fan, either in your bedroom or your hallway or your living room, most people don't put ceiling fans in their dining rooms and not like that, but wherever there's a ceiling fan, I like to run a 14.3. The reason being is because I like to separate my lights and my fan blades. So let's say my black wire is going to be for my lights. My red wire is going to be for my fan blades. So once again, when you're wiring a home, especially if you don't have blueprints, then you would want to be able to keep these things in mind. If I'm going to a bedroom, I can put all my outlets on 15 amps. I can put my lighting on that as well on 15 amps, which is a 14.2 wire or 14.3. But from my light switch to my fan, I'm going to run that 14.3 because I want to separate my lights and my blades as well. All right, now let's go to 12. 12.2, which is 20 amps, which means you can put a bigger load on that as well. Now, there are some places in the code to where it has to be 20 amps. And some places are dedicated as well, such as your washing machine. So we'll put washer. Your washing machine must be 20 amps. Your bath outlets. Your bath outlets must be 20 amps as well, because you got to think about if you use a hair dryer, if you use a curling iron, these draw more. So you will have to put your 12 wire here for your 20 amps. So you got your washer, your bath outlets, garage, your outlets in the garage needs to be 20 amps as well. Your outdoor circuit, sometimes people put a, which I always do, I like to put an outlet on the front porch and the back porch. So when someone's out there, they need a power source, or you need to plug into something, we have a GFCI outlet. We always run that in our 12-2, which is that 20 amps, right? So let's see, 20 amps, 12-2, this wire, your washer, your bath, garage. Oh, kitchen counters. Put that up there. Kitchen counters always have to be in this wire right here, that 12-2, which is that 20 amps. The reason being because you got your crock pots, you got your blenders, you got your toasters, you got your Keurigs, your coffee makers, you got your air fryers. Those things draw a lot more energy, so they wouldn't be good to put them on that 14-2 because you would trip the breaker if you have multiple ones plugged up at one time. So we always want to do our kitchen circuits in 12, right? So most of the wires that's found in residential is going to be these 3 wires right here. That's going to be all your outlets for your 120, either 15 or 20 amps, and your lighting circuits are going to be on your 14 as well. So I think that's everything right there. Your 10-3, where would you find your 30 amps? Of course, this wire is bigger, so that means more power can go through there. This is going to be like your dryer, right? Your dryer. Now, depending on the water heater that you have inside your house, some people still have one of those tall boys, those big water heaters, the 40 gallons. You can do the water heater. Some have Instahots. Those Instahots are sometimes gas, and they put those on the outside of the home. You can actually run your gas water heater on the 20 amp plug as well. But for the most part, we're still talking about the 10-3, your dryers and your water heaters is where you're going to find this right here. You think about your 40 amps, this right here now is your stove or your cooktops. And actually some cooktops can run into 30 amps. And then your bigger wire, your 50, and we're going to push last 60 amps. That can hold it. This is going to be your AC. That's going to be your AC. So once again, if you're thinking about wiring a house, you got a job, you need to wire a house, you don't have any blueprints, you're trying to figure out what wires that you need to have. These are your common 6 wires that you need to have for any residential electrical wiring situation. Thanks for watching. Come back again. Leave your questions, comments, concerns. If I missed anything, which I probably did, if I missed anything, please let me know. I think I got it all. All right.